Hey everyone, this is Tanya Gilreath with LA Business Pros. I'm recording this because I reviewed the feedback forms from the CABB 101 course that was taught on May 18th and 19th, 2017. And the feedback was that we really needed to spend more time explaining the seller's discretionary earnings and the recasting. So I wanted to go ahead and show how this is done and walk you through it and give it to you in a format where you can go back to it and you can read it again, cross-check with your workbook, pull out, download the worksheet, do it yourself a few times, and go back to the video as frequently as you need to see if you have any questions. So that's the purpose of this. What you'll need, well, is just to view, but what I have here is the recast sample, the class problem from the workbook. It was slide 115, and then I downloaded off of the CABB website the SDE worksheet, and you have access to that just by logging into the CABB website. Just log in, go to Forms. CABB Forms should be over in a menu navigation on the right, and you should be able to download the SDE worksheet. So in general, what we're trying to do is show the economic value of the business as opposed to the tax mitigated value of the business. And so we're going to add back things that are discretionary to the owner, and or one-time charges, and or just, they're not necessary for the successful operation of the business. And so what we'll do generally, what I do is look down, and there are certain expenses that frequently are going to be add backs just by their nature, but sometimes, are not because of the specific business. And for example, auto expense generally is going to be an add back, but there are times when auto expense, the company, the business has a delivery vehicle or something like that, so auto expense would not be an add back, or only a portion of the auto expense would be an add back. All right, so we'll start off with filling in the top portion of the SDE worksheet. All your adjustments are going to be made in line 10 and below. And up here, we're basically just transferring data from your income statement or your tax returns over to the worksheet itself. Right now, generally you're going to do 3 years. Right now, we only have 1 year, so it doesn't really matter which column we use. I'm just going to put it up here. So 2007, and here we go. The sales was $1 million. That's a net sales. Cost of sales, we have our purchases is $500,000. And our operating expenses are going to be down here. Total operating expenses, $389,700. All right, so that gives us a net income before taxes so far of $110,300. And that's what our operating income says down here. Now, we're adding depreciation and amortization. So we look through our expenses, and there's no amortization shown, but we have depreciation of $6,000. So we're going to put that in here. Interest on loans or interest on credit cards, interest expense in general, we have $3,000. The salary for one owner is the owner's salary here is $100,000. And the payroll taxes on the owner's salary. Now, payroll taxes is $16,500, but that's on the total $250,000 of payroll, which includes the owner's salary and other salaries. So what we want to do here is we can calculate what percentage of the payroll taxes, and it's an estimate. We can look at the payroll reports to find out exactly, but in this particular example, you know, they've told us our seller's payroll tax rate is 11%, right? So we're just going to take 11% times our owner's salary of $100,000, and that's going to give us $11,000. So our discretionary earnings without all of our other adjustments can be $230,000 or $230,300. And then we're going to add to that some of the other add backs, some of the other adjustments that SBA may or may not allow, depending on how well your package is prepared and how much supporting document you can provide to substantiate. So we have here an auto expense of $26,000. And this is telling us the seller, okay, these are the seller's comments, right? So the seller has told us that the auto expense is personal. So we have auto expense, but we also see that we have auto lease. So an auto expense of $26,000, we'll go ahead and put in, we're going to change repairs and maintenance to just say auto expense for owner's benefit. We'll put our $26,000 here. Our auto lease payments are $8,000, so we'll go ahead and put those up here at lease. The auto lease, you know, our seller also told us our auto lease is personal. General insurance contains $3,000 of personal auto insurance. So when we look at our general insurance here, we have $7,000. We know $3,000 of that is personal auto. Okay, so auto insurance for owner's benefit, $3,000. Now, you may question, why did I go look at general insurance when it already told me $3,000 was personal auto? Well, the reason for that is if I look at general insurance, and general insurance, if I can find it again here, it says it's only $2,000, then I can't add back $3,000. So you can only add back what has been expensed out. Okay, medical insurance is for the owner, so we have medical insurance of $4,000. We can put that here. We have life insurance, which is the owner's, so our life insurance is $2,000. So we can do one of two things. We can either add it up here and just change this to $6,000, so we're adding health and life together, $4,000 plus $2,000, or we can put life insurance down here on a separate line if we want to keep them separate. Okay, so I'll go ahead and combine them, but you can just as easily keep it separate and put it down there so that you have a direct correlation between line 28 on your worksheet here and back to your income statement. Okay. Then we know that charitable contributions are discretionary. So we're going to go over here to our contributions and donations, and we're going to make that adjustment there. And let's see, charitable contributions is $1,000. So we'll put the $1,000 here. And that gives us total seller's discretionary earnings of $274,300. Now, there are in looking at this income statement, there are other categories that oftentimes will be add backs. In here you can say entertainment and meals, $3,000. A lot of times your and travel expense, $2,000. So a lot of times your travel and entertainment is going to be discretionary and you're going to add those back. But in this particular problem, the seller, the seller's going to give you those details. So if the seller in this particular issue indicated or must have indicated that the entertainment and that the travel were for business. All right, so we go to our next slide down here, our solution, 274,300, and that's what we got. 274,300. So the great thing about the SDE worksheet is that it will do the math for you. You plug in the numbers, it totals everything up, and that's it for this walkthrough. And I hope, if you have any questions, you guys all have my email address, so shoot me an email. It's tanyag@labusinesspros.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions for you.